Pareidolia. You glance at a cloud, or the ceiling, or the front grille of a car, and a face stares back at you, and suddenly, the whole car looks like it's grinning. That's pareidolia, basically your brain's face recognition software running a bit too eager. Spotting faces fast used to matter so much for survival that your brain built an entire chunk of itself just for it, tuned to fire at the smallest hint of two eyes and a mouth. Like a motion sensor light that goes off for a cat just as easily as a person. It's so sensitive it fires even when there's no actual face there, just a rough enough shape to qualify. That's why people see faces in the random object. In power outlets, in wood grain, your brain would rather flag a fake face than risk missing a real one. Déjà vu. You step into a situation you've genuinely never experienced. A new place, a conversation happening for the first time. And a strange certainty settles over you that this precise moment has already happened. You can't say when, you're just convinced of it. That's déjà vu, and it works a bit like two browser tabs accidentally syncing. Your brain runs two systems side by side that are usually in sync. One tab handling brand new experiences as they load in, and one tab handling old memories you're pulling back up. There's a far less talked about reverse version called Jamais vu. It's when something you know intimately suddenly feels completely foreign, like opening an app you've used for years and the icons look unfamiliar for a second. A word you've written thousands of times looks like it's spelled wrong. A street you've driven down for years feels like somewhere you're seeing for the first time. Same glitch, just running backward. Mandela Effect. A surprising number of people swear Nelson Mandela died in prison sometime in the 80s. Vivid memory, totally confident. Completely wrong. He got released in 1990 and lived another 23 years as a former president before he died in 2013. This is the Mandela Effect. When a huge group of people share the exact same wrong memory. Loads of people remember the Monopoly man wearing a monocle he never has. Loads remember mirror, mirror on the wall when the line's always been
magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest one of all?
Tons of fans swear Pikachu has a black-tipped tail. He's never had one. Think of memory like autocomplete on your phone. It doesn't save the whole sentence. It saves the gist and fills in the rest based on what seems likely. A cartoon tycoon in a top hat and tails fits the visual idea of someone who'd wear a monocle. So plenty of brains quietly autocomplete one that was never there, when the same expectation is strong and shared widely enough. Uncanny Valley. A CGI character looks almost perfectly human, except something about the eyes is just off, in a way you can't name. A robot moves like a person, but slightly too smooth or too stiff. A wax figure nails every single detail of the celebrity it's based on, and that's exactly what makes it creepy instead of impressive. This is the Uncanny Valley. As things get more human-like, you generally feel more comfortable with them. Right UP until they get really close to human, then comfort doesn't just dip. It falls off a cliff. Your brain doesn't react to things that are clearly artificial. It files them away, fast, and moves on. But something that looks almost human gets held under a much closer inspection, and whatever that inspection finds wrong, however small, doesn't register as an imperfection. It registers as a threat. The closer something gets to human, the higher the stakes of getting it wrong. Almost right is more unsettling than obviously fake. It always has been. Tetris Effect. You spend a few hours playing something repetitive, Tetris, a matching game, and afterward, the moment you close your eyes, the shapes are still moving. You catch yourself mentally, slotting things together in real life, the gap between books on a shelf, the space between two parked cars. This is the Tetris Effect. And honestly, it's a lot like a song stuck in your head. Once your brain runs the same pattern enough times, it doesn't just stop when the activity ends. It keeps quietly looping in the background. The pathways involved stay lit up well after you've put the controller down, still scanning everything you look at for a match. Programmers describe seeing logic structures in totally unrelated decisions. People who scroll for hours catch their own fingers making a scrolling motion with nothing in their hand. Your brain's still running the last program you opened, it just hasn't gotten the memo that you already closed it. Childhood amnesia. Try to reach back as far as your memory actually goes. For most people, the earliest reliable memory sits around age 3 or 4. Before that, basically nothing, maybe a hazy fragment, and even that's shaky. This is childhood amnesia, And it comes down to two things working against you at once. Picture your brain's memory system like a phone that hasn't finished setting up yet. The hippocampus, the part that converts short-term experience into long-term storage, is still installing its own software in early childhood. Nothing's getting properly backed up. There's a language component too. Memory storage relies heavily on attaching words to experiences, anchoring them to something retrievable. Before a child's language is fully online, most experiences go in completely unanchored. They can't be found again because they were never labeled in the first place. Doorway effect. You're sitting on the couch, and you remember something you left in the kitchen, clear as anything. You get up, step through the door, and it's just not there anymore. The thought's gone. You stand in the kitchen for a second, hoping it'll come back. It doesn't. You go back to the couch, and the moment you sit down, there it is. This is the doorway effect. And it's one of the most consistent and well-documented quirks in memory research. Your brain files information by location. Whatever room you're in becomes a container for the thoughts that belong there. And crossing a doorway triggers a kind of automatic reset. Your brain closes the previous container and opens a new one. The thought didn't disappear. It's still in the last file, in the last room, exactly where you left it. You just have to go back and open it again. Sleep paralysis. You open your eyes, or at least it feels like you do. You're conscious. You can see the room, you know exactly where you are, but your body won't respond. Not a finger, not a toe. You're completely locked inside yourself, watching the ceiling, unable to do anything about it. And sometimes there's something else in the room, a shape at the edge of your vision, a presence you can feel more than see, sitting somewhere close, and you still can't move. This is sleep paralysis, and what's happening is simpler than it feels. Every night during REM sleep, your brain locks your muscles in place, a safety mechanism so you don't act out your dreams physically. That lock is designed to release the instant you become conscious. In sleep paralysis, the timing is off. Your awareness comes back a few seconds too early, before the lock has let go. Your mind is fully online. Your body hasn't gotten the message yet. The figures are hallucinations, dream imagery that hasn't finished dissolving, bleeding into a waking mind that's aware but not yet free. It passes quickly. It just doesn't feel that way from the inside.